we've been drooling over defensive players like Barnett for weeks now. If we can get a defensive line that puts him in the same in Buffalo, we could have similar results. Now, I'm not saying the exact same results where he's a Pro Bowler, but we could have a very quality free safety back there, have Von Bell growing up in the wings, him play more towards the line of scrimmage, a nickel safety type deal. And then Kenny Vaccaro has been very consistent, very strong for a couple of years now after having a sophomore slump. So I'm very happy with Bird. And I've been happy for a while, but it's dangerous to get too happy about a Saints player after only a few games. He got benched earlier this year. I think that was good for him. It got his mind right. And since that benching, Jarris Bird has been consistent and a very, very good player for us on defense.
I think it's not only the fact that he's been consistent and or healthy. I think it's finally that he stopped caring. You know, I watched the movie The Fan before, and I'm a big movie buff, man, and it's the movie with Robert De Niro when he's just, he's just an overly obsessed fan. And Wesley Snipes is also in the movie, and he plays, a Barry Bonds type of character, and he's in a hitting slump. And he's in a hitting slump allegedly because he has another guy on his team that's really, really good and took his magic number or something like that and couldn't play. So Robert De Niro kills the other teammate because he thinks that's going to help his favorite player get out of that hitting slump. He had a chance to have a conversation with Wesley Snipes, and that part, and he said, well, what changed for you? Wesley Snipes told him, I simply stopped caring. I stopped listening to all of the naysayers, all of the boos, all of that type of, I just simply stopped caring, and I went back to playing carefree, and everything changed. Well, that analogy is kind of how I feel about Jarris Bird. It just seems like he's playing carefree. He's gone back to that little kid type of style of football, meaning that I'm going back to playing the game I love. I know this game. I love this game. I can play this game. And if I just go out there and I'm just me, everything else will take care of itself. And that's the guy I'm seeing on the field. He's playing with confidence now. He's playing with a newfound love. He's making the right plays at the right time. That the interceptions were impressive. But that 4-yard tackle for loss in which he just shoots straight down the line and just knocks down. I mean, that's more impressive to me because it's a good call by Dennis Allen. But it's an even better play by Jarris Bird because he was Johnny on the spot for that play. The interceptions were great. But that's the one I look at and run support, and I'm like, you know what? That shows me he's back to playing football, and he's confident. Because he was confident enough to make that play. He was confident enough to trust the call and follow his assignment and do what he had to do. And if Jarris Bird is going to play like that, that's the reason why I said he's not going anywhere. Now, mind you, I made up my mind about that a couple of games ago against the Rams when I seen Sean Payton going crazy off the Lion King song, and the third person that he finds is Jarris Bird. That let me know Jarris Bird wasn't going anywhere. Sean Payton loved him.
Yeah.
But seeing him play now and back up that confidence that Sean Payton has in him going forward, I can't say he doesn't even need to be a Pro Bowler. He just needs to play like he's playing now. Carefree football, just trusting who you are and what's got you to this point. That's going to go a long way for Jarris Bird because I believe the injury shook his confidence.
I'd say he's definitely more confident. He's playing better, and I really hope it translates into next season. To me, that's the key there. And I think he's got a better rapport with Dennis Allen than he did with Rob Ryan. Because just how it's being played is so much better than what was happening in the same type of situation with Rob Ryan, because Rob Ryan just sat him in the back, and said, hey, run forward and play the football. But Jarris Bird's always been closer to the line of scrimmage, sneaky, slithering, Randy Orton type of snake kind of guy who stabs you where you don't expect him to stab you. He was never the sit back forever and catch interceptions. That's just not who he was. So I think the fit's a lot better for him now too.
Let me give Dennis Allen his full credit for this, because I believe only Dennis Allen could have went to Sean Payton and told him, you gotta let me coach these guys the way I know how to coach these guys. Because as you alluded to, under Rob Ryan, Jarris Bird was like a babysitter back there. He's 25, 30 yards off the line of scrimmage, just kind of, back there twiddling his thumbs, waiting for something to come his way. And that's not the way he plays. But there's a reason for that. wanted to copycat what was working. If you want to copycat what Seattle was doing. You can't copycat something that isn't yours and you don't have the players to run. And because of that, he forced Rob Ryan to run a Derek Bird roams the field. He's playing more of an open and closed safety system. And that's what Derek Bird excels at. I mean, he's one of the best in the game at being a range safety. You gotta let him use his speed, his athleticism, and his smart, his football IQ to track the ball and make plays. And that's what he's showing you he can do now because he's back to being that guy, especially now that he's healthy.
All right, well, it's right at 9, so I know we didn't get into it as much as I hoped to because it is Falcons hate week, but we need to go ahead and get our predictions and start wrapping it up so we can get ready for this game.
I think it's going to be a high-scoring game between the two teams. Advantage Saints when it comes to offense. Advantage Falcons when it comes to defense because apparently the Falcons have found him a pass rush. But I'm going to go Saints in this game 37-31.
All right, well, I like it. I think that, believe it or not, the Saints are only ranked 2 spots behind Atlanta in defense. I'm definitely feeling shootout, but I'm going a little bit higher scoring. I think it's going to be a 42-35 game where the Saints win by a touchdown. I think Drew Brees he's going to show Matty Ice who's still the boss in the NFC South, who's the best quarterback. And Sean Payton, he is not going to let himself get swept by the Atlanta Falcons.
I would hope not. And above all else, the Saints need to win for one reason and one reason only. Forget about screwing the Falcons out of the number 2 seed. You don't want to see Matt Ryan receive an MVP award before Drew Brees does.
Yeah, that would be pretty bad. It'd be a travesty.
I mean, absolute shame if that ever take place.
All right, well, that's our wrap. Kyle T. Mosley says 51-45 Saints. I'll take that, too. It'll really hurt my everything I've been saying good about the Saints defense. But you know what? To end the year, yeah, I'll go ahead and do a complete shellacking of the Falcons. So thanks, everybody, for listening on Who Dat Confessional. We'll see you next Tuesday after the Saints beat the Falcons. If you got any Falcons Hate Week stuff that you want to share, feel free to hit me up on Twitter. Hit us up on Saints News Network. Y'all have a blessed week, and we will see you next time.
The organizer